the lighting totally shifted when I pushed record. It was so moody and warm for a second. I'm gonna have to bring that back in editing. Hey Coven, welcome back to the Heathen Hedge Witch. I am Runa Strong, this is my channel, and today we are starting spooky season over here. And to be honest, I'd actually like this series to last a little bit longer than just spooky season because I think it could be a lot of fun. But I need your help with that. I need you to email me your scary stories. So check that out. Give it a shot. runastrong@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you guys. This story, however, is one of my own. Probably one of the scariest experiences I've had with a human spirit. It's a little bit freaky. So I recommend watching it in the dark. And also maybe getting yourself a snack, something to drink, something to smoke. And just chill with me for a minute. It's gonna be fun. Something I also would like to say, considering the subject matter of this story, is that you matter. I know that it is Suicide Awareness Month, and I just want to make it clear that it is not the answer, okay? There are a lot of sources out there that can help you get through this. I will link some of them in the description below. Promise, it does get better. I know people say that all the time, and so you start to feel like, that's just shit, but I promise you from experience, it does get better. Therapy does help, and medication isn't a cop-out. Please, take care of yourself and look after your loved ones. Sometimes people disguise depression and suicide in dark humor, and you think they're fine, and they're not fine. So please, be good to each other. Today, I'm going to tell you the story about the Hanging Man. And no, I don't mean Odin. The year is about 2018, kind of towards the end of the year, probably around this time of year actually, like September, October. My mom and I were on a journey to find a house for both our families to kind of share together. We had both grown tired of apartment and trailer park life, and we just wanted to find a property that our whole family could share, or at least her household and my household together. So we were looking for a pretty large home or a large property we could put multiple homes on. And we had looked at a lot of places, but we saw this place that looked like it had a pretty interesting setup that would actually work well for our family. So we drove up there together to give it a look. Now, keep in mind, my son at the time was only a year old. I don't exactly remember when it took place, but I know that it was around the fall season because we were commenting on the colors and how cold it was. And I just remember that we didn't want to leave any of the car doors open long because he was napping in the back seat. We pull up to this house and we start looking around in the windows because at the time we had a really shitty realtor that refused to just come to the house with us when we found one that we liked on the app or whatever. And he wanted us to go window peek, looking all like fucking peeping toms. He wanted us to go window peek at this house before he would come show it to us because I have more money than time. That's going to be you. And I'm like, I'm literally doing your job for you, but you're still getting a cut? What? Sorry, off topic. But anyways, that was a little bit frustrating. So my mom and I go to this home and we're looking around. And she goes up to window peek into the front door and it just opens. It was one of the doors where it has like the 9 little windows in it, so she was just trying to look through one and it just opened. And she was like, Runa, this door just opened? And I was like, that's creepy. And she was like, well, maybe we can just check it out real quick and we don't have to worry about the realtor coming here and getting mad at us because yes, he was a narcissist who got mad at us. It was bullshit. Anyways, back into the story. She's thinking that because he's such a narcissist, she should just maybe look at it and then not catch the grief from him if we called him to it later and it wasn't up to par. He couldn't get mad at us for wasting his time, basically. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to just leave my son sleeping here in the van, so you go in and I'll sit with him and you tell me what you think. And she was like, okay. So she goes inside and she's gone for what felt like a while. But I wasn't really watching the time. I was just listening to the radio. You know, we kept the car running to keep the heat on. You know, little baby sleeping in the back. And I was kind of waiting for her. And eventually she comes out and her mood had kind of shifted. Like when we got there, we're like, we're so excited. We're going to go look for a house. And she comes out and she was like, yeah, I don't know. Why don't you go look and I'll sit with him and you tell me what you think. And so I'm just like, okay. because she's not really sure. Like, I had been house hunting before. I had worked really closely with the realtor that my partner and I had worked with at that time. And so she felt like maybe I could, I don't know, find a problem better than her in regards to what our realtor would degrade us for, basically. Fucking asshole. Seriously, just don't work with the guy George. If your realtor's name is George, get the fuck out. Small dick energy, and that's all I'm gonna say. So I'm like, alright, let's go check this out. I walked into the house, and the first thing that I remember is that it was really, really cold. It was just fall outside, but it felt like winter. My hoodie wasn't enough. And I run hot. That's weird for me. That is insanely weird for me. Honestly, that probably should have been the first sign to me that something just isn't right. And I remember walking in, and I don't remember much about the kitchen or anything other than it was kind of an open floor plan, and there was a lot of wood flooring. And also there was a basement that didn't have a door. It was just like an open doorway or door frame. And I kind of wrote that off that, oh, maybe there's just like an updraft coming from the basement because it's not closed, it's not occupied, so there's not body heat in here. So maybe the wind is cutting through a little, you know, like I'm just writing it off. Even as someone who can see spirits, I tend to still be a little bit of a skeptic. Just because I don't try to run with it right away. I try to like, oh, was that a glare in my glasses or was that really a person kind of passing by me? You know, like I will try to recreate it. It didn't make sense, but I didn't really think about it much. I was just looking at the house. I wasn't thinking about, oh, there's a ghost inside. Although I do remember there's a basement here, which I remember getting a very strong vibe of just, I don't want to go into the basement. Something tells me I won't come back out. I don't know why I didn't leave the house at that thought. I guess I just thought maybe it was anxiety and not intuition. This was before I was still really good at telling the difference between the two. Yeah. Not my proudest moment as a medium type person, but let's just keep going. I'm in the house, I'm looking around, and I'm basically just trying to see if this could work for our family. Again, I wasn't really aware of any spiritual energy. I did kind of feel like something was watching me, but I'm under the belief that not all ghosts are hauntings, because not all of them are. Some of them are just dead folks checking you out. Such a strong vibe of don't go in the basement, you won't come out, or at least you won't come out alive. And my mom, when she was in there, she got the same feeling, but she didn't tell me about that. I didn't know that she felt that too until way after the fact when I had already ran out screaming, but we're getting to that, so hang on. I'm walking through the house. And like I said, I don't really remember much of the layout other than wood floors and an open floor plan. And just very strong don't go in the basement energy. Again, I don't know why that didn't get me like out of there right away, but whatever. So I'm like, well, let's check out the upstairs because that was the area that when we were looking on the website, you know, flipping through the phone, we had thought that it looked really cool because there was like 2 bedrooms up there that were kind of connected as either like a nursery for the previous owners, or maybe it was like the wife's get ready room, or she has like her vanity and all of her makeup and stuff all in that space. It's kind of hard to tell, but I thought that we could kind of modify that and that could be my room next to my son's upstairs, and then we could share the living spaces and my mom and her nephew can have the main floor bedrooms. And so that was kind of our plan going into this. And so I had to check out the upstairs because that's my potential room. So I do. Oh yeah, I checked it the fuck out. I wish I did not. And then I got up there and the energy felt really thick. Like it was a little hard to breathe. But I was like, man, maybe I ran up those stairs a little fast, you know, putting on more weight or what. Like I didn't really think anything of it. And I'm just like looking around and I'm like, this would be a nice size room for my son to grow up in. It's not too small to just be a nursery. If we wanted to add a second wall here where the stairs come up to the landing, I'm already planning like, what can we do here, da da da. And then I look into my room. Or what would have been my room. Thank the gods it is not my room. So I look into that space and I realize that the flooring seems to be really dull in this room compared to all the rest of the hardwood floor. First thing that you want to look at when you're buying a house is how's the floor, how's the foundation, how's the roof. Those are really expensive projects to redo. This is really kind of hard to talk about because it was really fucking scary. So I'm looking at the floor and I'm like, why is, like, it's so different over here than right over here in the rest of this house. Like, all the other parts of this house are beautiful, cherry stained wood, nice and shiny. I'm just like, why is it so different over here where this is supposed to be like the master? And so I'm just like, why would you leave like the big selling point for a lot of houses looking so grubby? And I didn't understand it. And then I noticed in the middle of the room a really dark stain. Look into there and I'm like, what is with this stain on the floor? And so then I start to look up because I'm like, is it from water damage? Is there a leak in the roof? Because I can't deal with that. And that's when I saw it. He was hanging from a noose with his head cocked to the side like this. And his body was all limp, but shaking. Why was he shaking? Why was he shaking like that? Like, why? Why did he have to be like, ugh? Why did you have to, ugh? Why did you have to do that to me? Oh my God. Why did he have to do that to me? I don't fucking understand it. I really don't. I really fucking don't. Like, I've seen a lot of dead people. I've seen some hanging people. I've never seen them shake at me like that. Okay, why did he do that? Why did he do that? Why are you shaking, sir? Side note, can being hung cause like a seizure of some kind? I don't know. I don't know. But instantly, all of the breath left my lungs. I could not scream. I could barely fucking stand up. I almost fell down the stairs because I was still standing right at the top of the platform. I had just looked for one room, kind of, that's actually really nice. Looked over here. Oh, what's with the floor? Looked up. Like, it happened so fast. I don't think I was even up at that top floor for a solid minute yet. Oh. So he kind of like is shaking at me, but he's still, and then all of a sudden he comes at me, and I was like, ah! And that's when I finally found my voice and my breath. And I ended up on the stairs went up like this, and then it had a landing, and then it went up the rest of the way. And I somehow went from the top platform to that middle landing. I don't remember taking steps. I don't know if I jumped. I don't know if he pushed me. I don't know if I fell. I just know that I got up and I ran the fuck out of that house. I was like, Mom! And I ran. I mean, I'm telling you, I have seen so much shit. Nothing like that ever. Oh my God, it is the most frightening thing. I'm getting chills thinking about it. I want to sage myself thinking about it. I think I might actually. Let's take a sage and smoke break, shall we? Yes, we shall. This is my purple sage and lavender bundle. My mom, I'm pretty sure she heard me screaming, and she already had that car in reverse. I don't even know if I had my door fully shut all the way, but she just like took off, and I slid forward, and I'm pretty sure I like bruised my ribs a little bit because I fell out of my seat. We got the hell out of there. Oh man, we were like, you know, don't attach to me. You are stuck there where you are. We don't claim that energy. It doesn't belong to us. Like, we were doing everything we could to cleanse without tools because we didn't have any. And that definitely became a staple in what we packed when we went on these house hunting cruises, just to make sure that nothing like that would happen again. And that if it did, we would be able to protect ourselves fully. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't go in that basement. I'm real glad I didn't go in that basement. But the thing that I kind of wonder, because do you remember American Horror Story season 1 with the murder house? And after the whole family, sorry if you haven't seen it, I'm about to spoil you, but like, what the fuck are you doing not even seeing season 1 yet? Like, honestly, what are you doing with your life if you haven't seen even season 1 of that show? I'm sorry. Oh shit, what was I gonna say? I got distracted. Oh, So you know how in season 1, after the whole family like dies from one way or another because of the haunting of the house itself, and then after the fact, the Harmon family, how do I remember that? The Harmon family ghosts decide that when they see other people coming in to try to buy the house after they've already left, they're just like, we can't let anybody die to this house. And so they bring out the full works right away, so that way people don't live there, they move out, their family doesn't die, so they aren't stuck on that property for eternity. And I'm just like, is that what he was doing? Did the creature in the basement make him hang himself? And he was trying to save me? Did he GTFO me so that way I wouldn't, like, for good too? That's a thought that sits on my head sometimes, like, for real. For real, for real. But yeah, that's pretty much my story of the hanging man. I still am kind of in disbelief that that's how it happened, but that is how it happened, and it was crazy to experience, and it's even crazier to think about and to like say it out loud. I actually stepped back from witchcraft for a little bit after that just because I wasn't sure what the fuck it was, what the fuck to do about it. I was like, am I bringing this onto myself? Because, you know, so many people go in with like that idea of, oh, like Puritan culture of it's all demons, everything is demons, nothing is a ghost, nothing is anything else but demons, and if you leave God, the demons will come for you. At least that's what it was like in the upbringing in the church that I had experienced. And so it got me like really freaked out. But honestly, I feel more protected with knowing witchcraft than I ever did with practicing a Puritan sort of ideology. Sorry, Freya, for the random time that I left. But obviously I'm back now.
I took some time off to rest, and now it's game time, bitches. You have no idea.
That's my story. I hope to hear your story. I hope to share your story. I hope to experience your story through your eyes. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my crazy but very real story about what happened when we were house hunting and I saw a very intimidating ghost. I hope to hear your story soon. Please email them to me at runastrong@gmail.com, and I hope to share them on here in the next episode. Until then, stay weird, think like the madman, Odin himself, and above all, love each other. This world is bullshit. We need more love. Come on now. Love and peace. I say it at the end of every episode. Let's practice more. Love and peace. Love and peace. Okay, love you. Bye.